Hey everyone, I'm Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to episode 26 of Let's Platinum Evoland Legendary Edition. Alright, so let's keep going around Genova and talking to everyone. Let's see. Let's go left first. Don't talk to these three girls just yet. They're the trigger point, so let's talk to everyone else. You don't look like you're from around here. Bit of advice. Try not to blaspheme near disciples or certain members of the militia. Makes no difference to me, but some are a bit overzealous. How do you blaspheme? No, wait, how do you blaspheme? Oh, there's loads of different ways, and they just seem to get more uncompromising every day. Tell you what, better yet, don't say a thing. Anyway, you don't really look like the chatty type. The old Imperial jail was abandoned since there wasn't any need for it. Oh, there's still plenty of criminals out there, mainly blasphemers. But they were too expensive to feed and house. Don't get me wrong, we're not savages, we're not going to execute them or anything. That would be way too expensive anyway. No, instead we send them into the smug. Nobody's ever come back, but at least we're giving them a shot. Jeez. Don't think there's anything else in there. Okay, skip the girls. Let's talk to all these people. Do you believe in the Great Destroyer? If you believe what the Prophet's disciples say, he's going to destroy the world. But if you ask for a precise date, they all get pretty vague. Maybe it won't happen for a few centuries? I joined the militia to defend Genova, not to apprehend blasphemers. Plus, with every passing day, the definition of blasphemy gets broader. At this rate, I can't say how far we'll go. Maybe we'll end up throwing everybody in the smug. The militia is being increasingly replaced with patrols of the Prophet's disciples. Oh, but I'm not a blasphemer. Just, maybe it'd be better to keep things separate? My plan's to work in the militia for a few years. After that, I'll save up and become a wealthy trader. It could happen. It's in our constitution even. Well, very few have done it so far. Except for the sons of traders, of course, but that's only natural, right? Anyway, I'll be one of the first to make it big. I just need to pull myself up from my bootstraps. Yeah, let's go to this one. Okay. I'd rather eat here than in the tavern. This way I save up money to buy myself a meal at McDonald's every once in a while. Makes me drool just thinking about it. Okay, yeah, I don't think there's anything here. Let's talk to this dude. If the Prophet has his rules, so does the militia. First rule of the militia, you do not talk about the militia. Fight Club reference. Second rule of the militia, you do not talk about the militia. And don't even ask about Rule 34. God, Rule 34. Okay, after a long day, members of the militia come and rest here in the old Imperial Guard room. It's funny to think that 100 years ago, during the war, soldiers actually lived here. They must have had very skilled lieutenants to have won the war. I think that's supposed to be kind of like a play of when we were talking to the people in, 100 years ago, when we were in the past, they were saying, like, making fun of the lieutenants. Alright, let's, I think this stuff might have something. There's one here, I know for sure. Z. No, don't take. Z. In the bureau. Z. So Bureau is not only like the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, but it's also these little like bedside tables. So if you press X here, it says you got 50G. Hooray! Stealing money. At the beginning of the game, stealing from our own house. I didn't care, but here I do. Oh, there's 10G there. Okay. Anything else? Nope. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Let me check these like barrels, because sometimes I guess they could have stuff in them. No. No, nothing. Okay. Let's keep going. Not too many more people to talk to now. Getting close to the end of this area. Let's have a quick check here. Pumpkins and what is that? Like watermelons? What's this guy have to say? When I was young, I often came and played in the streets of Genova, but after the Great Disaster, the city became a terrible place, with the traders and the prophets seizing power, and the smug. It makes me cough, and many residents have fallen sick as well. Ever since I've cut down on trips to Genova as much as possible. It's hard to know exactly how they're reading it after you've read it. Many years ago, this was the Emperor's palace, but nowadays it's where the Council of Traders operates from. Most of the traders reside in the palace, with the exception of a few like Mr. Mudwell, who live in town. Mr. Mudwell. I wonder if he's related to Mr. Fogwell. Have you ever been to the Emperor's former palace? Yeah? Oh, how did you manage that? Only the Council of Traders can access the palace. What if I say no? If you become a very wealthy trader, one day, maybe you too can join the Council of Traders. Okay. Anything up here? I always thought there was something up here, but now I'm not so sure. Let me see. Okay, I guess not. There's a guy here, lying like face down, I think. Is there anything in the fountain? Did we talk to this guy? I don't think we did. When I gaze at this fountain, I think of the future. The prophet has revealed it to us. He alone holds the truth. Water will wash over the world, and all will be flooded. The great destroyer is already at work, but the prophet will save us. Maybe you'd have to talk to this guy to learn about the flood. If so, kind of made a mistake then. Z. Huh? What? By lying stretched out on the ground, I can commune with the great destroyer. The great destroyer is omnipotent. He will destroy the world in order to rebuild it. Do you think he can hear me? Z. Okay. Sure, the great disaster flattened a whole part of the continent, but that's also where we get smug from. So, okay. As they say, all's well that ends well, right? He. Well, except for all the victims of the great disaster, of course. But then apparently they didn't suffer at all. Boom, gone in an instant. I mean, I don't know much about it, eh? I wasn't born yet. Okay. This all sounds very familiar to me. Especially if you're watching this as it comes out. Certain movie was released around this time. Anyway. Oh, you got a little animation here. Look, Koro, the Imperial Library. I'm not sure what it's like now, but in my day it was known for its many documents. Documents? I bet if we go there, we'll find out plenty about this time period. They're also likely to have something on the location of the megaliths. We'll have to find another one to get back home, seeing as the one that got us here was destroyed. But megaliths are quite rare, and even if we were to find one, how would we activate it? Not to mention it could end up taking us to an entirely new era. Manos, stop being so defeatist. What else can we do besides try? Nothing we can do will change anything. My people, my son, all of them dead. Kuro, I think Manos is going to need some time to adjust. Let's try finding information as fast as we can. Okay. Library access is restricted to researchers. They are the only ones with keys. Yeah, I know. Who'd want to read books anyway? Utterly pointless. Okay, so the door's locked and we don't have the key. Alright, let's go see if we can figure out how to get that. So, first place we want to go is we want to talk to the group of 3 girls. Here. And here. So, this one here, like, they're all references, I think, but I don't know to what exactly. I know the top one, her name is Saku, and that's a reference to Sakura from Street Fighter. The other 2, I'm not quite sure. Let's double check everything first. Mimi, did you get the key? Yep, Saku. I got it. Brilliant. How about you, Ruben? Do you have the map? Yeah, boss. I've got the map. Awesome. I hereby declare, Operation No Toys but Plenty of Books has begun. Saku, I think we should come up with a better name for our operation. I think so too. How about we call it Operation Super Mimi? No. Mimi, it's not just your operation, it's all of ours. And so, might I suggest Operation Saku and her friends? No way. Why should there only be your name in our operation? You just said the same thing though. Maybe because it was my idea in the first place? Well, I'm the one who stole my dad's key. If I get caught, I won't get dessert for at least 3 days. Which means I'm the one taking the biggest risk here. Stop arguing, you two. I just want to read the books that are hidden in the library. It's so boring without any toys. So why not call our operation Operation Books for Ruben? No! Boo-hoo-hoo! You guys are so mean to me. I'm gonna cry. Why is she like see-through almost? Ribbon. Come on now, don't throw a fit. Hey, how about we go back to our HQ to choose the name? Good idea, Mimi. Alright, everyone return to HQ. Hey! Wait for me, you guys. Okay, off they go. So now we have to figure out where the HQ is. It's not too hard to find them. They are in the courtyard of the inn. You can see them over there, top right hand corner. So now we can go into the inn. Kill two birds with one stone. Okay, let's talk to this dude. A lot of talking in this episode. The food here's okay, but it's small beans compared to McDonald's. Best restaurant on the whole continent. Oh, I just noticed also, she said that she stole her dad's key. That must be, you know what, let's quickly go do that just so we can close that little story thing. Must be this one, right? Yeah, so what does this guy say again? He can't seem to find the key to the library. He certainly left it there. He needs it to continue whatever. Mimi isn't back yet, still hanging around with friends. Alright, yeah, so Mimi stole the key, so that's Mimi's father. And it's the key to the library. So that's what it was. Alright, now who else are we talking to? Let's talk to the main dude. My daughter likes to play with her friends out in the courtyard at the inn. I can't imagine what they do out there all day. But perhaps would you like to rest for a while? No, that's okay. Alright, so that's another one of the fathers. But we don't know who to. This is a picture of an Octorok from the first game, as well. Another little homage to the first game. There we go, 5G. I got more 5G. Oh yeah, by the way, I managed to upgrade my internet a little bit. I did like a tricky, I did it like in a backwards way, but I got like a phone plan that had 200 gigabytes and I can use the SIM in my modem, so I'm getting a little bit better speeds, which is nice. Oh, and I also figured out how to lower the volume in my ear so it's not too loud. I just had to lower the volume on my TV, so that's good. But yeah, I don't know if I can stream yet, I don't think so, but just mentioning that now. It's getting harder to find non-smug enriched fruits and veggies. Sure, they look pretty, they've got brighter colours, but they're completely tasteless. How am I supposed to use that stuff to cook up some proper plates of food? God, my nose is like really getting to me. I'm trying to talk and like almost can't breathe. But we'll get through this episode and then I'll take a break. Watch out, girls. There's a creepy guy staring at us. No, it's nothing. It's empty. Really? I don't think so. Huh? Who are you? What are you doing in our HQ? We want to say... I want to help you. Oh, really? Hear that, Mimi? He wants to help us. But help us with what exactly? Good point. Help us with what? I was just about to ask that. So, you want to help us to what exactly? I just need the key. Just say that. Say, you know what? I like people who are direct, who know what they want. So say you find this key of yours, like maybe in a safe or a chest or something, and maybe you use it to get into the library, and in the library say you find, oh, I don't know, a book. In this purely hypothetical scenario, would you bring it to us? Yes. You promise? Yes. Cross your heart and hope to die? Yes. Stick a needle in your eye? Like, do you promise on your life? Yes. Well, I think we'll get along just fine. Keep your promise and you'll have nothing to worry about. Alright, let's get that key. Da, 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 da. You got the key to the library. It opens the gateway to knowledge, and maybe new problems too. Anything else? Keep to your word and you'll have no trouble. Careful not to lose the key. We can trust you, I hope. Alright, awesome. Let's go to the library. Can do a few things today. Probably won't be able to get through the whole thing, but we'll get close. Okay. In we go. Oh, well, we have to use the key. Key to library. Alright, we have reached the library. I'm trying to see what that picture is there on the right, and I can't now because the game has given me this. Okay, so this is the Dean. Welcome to the Genova Library. I suppose you're the new students. Yeah. I am the Dean of the Genova Library. We researchers devote our lives to extremely important matters. For example, finding out why it itches when one is bitten by a mosquito. Oh, we're not concerned with finding a cure or some such nonsense. Knowing why it itches is clearly more interesting. By the by, I will discuss my own research when time permits. I am an expert in the study of the ancient Magi civilization, specifically the legends surrounding their use of strange powers in late antiquity. But before I can tell you all about that, you'll need to complete your studies. It's just that, look, Professor, we're in quite a hurry and... Quiet! You are students, and in the library you must submit to your professor's authority, unless you do not wish to learn anything. In which case, get out! I like how Menace became Piccolo for a second there. Please forgive student Menace, Mr. Dean, sir. We'd be delighted to follow your lessons, in particular the ones about the megaliths. Right, Menos? Yes. Yes. Well then, if you're determined, let us begin. You must receive credit for 6 core disciplines, courses in various fields. To do so, you need only speak to my researcher colleagues in the library. Each of them will submit a problem, allowing you to get credit for a particular subject. You can choose your own curriculum. You're under no obligation to do all of them, but I may have a little reward if you complete all 8. Did you get all that? Yes. Splendid! Have fun studying then. Come back when you are all done. But no sooner than that. I simply hate being disturbed. Alright, cool. Hehehehe. He reminds me of my old professor. I've always loved studying. It's fun. You are crazy, lady. He seems to know much about the Magi. He will certainly have much to tell us about the megaliths. I know my voices keep changing for them, but oh well. I really want to see what I can't tell what that picture is there on the right. It almost looks like Final Fantasy IX, but yeah, I can't tell. Alright, what do you have to say, sir? Are you the new pupil? I've dug up a strange relic with a mechanism I can't get a handle on. Do you have a few minutes to spare? Yes, you're too kind. Here, this strange item was found in some ancient Hyrulean ruins. There is no lock on it, save for this bizarre keyboard set with symbols. You would do me a great service by opening it. Alright, so basically this is more like Professor Layton-esque type puzzles. I think they're numbered 2 to 9 because technically we did 1 at the beginning of the game. They're pretty cool little puzzles. Some of them are annoyingly designed, but yeah. Alright, mysterious relic. This chest will open after the 16 buttons are pressed in the right order. The gold button must be triggered last. Which button must be pressed first to unlock the mechanism? Okay, so this one has to be pressed last to unlock the mechanism. So the way we work out which one is pressed first is basically you work your way backwards from the last button. So you'll notice here, the only way to get to this gold button is this 2. Because you'll see how they have they're kind of designed in such a way that it has an arrow pointing in certain directions. So for example, this one has a 2 on it, right? With an arrow pointing up. So when you press this button, there's 16 buttons, right? So this is the 15th button, and then it goes 1, 2, and then you press the 16th button. And then before this one, you have to press this one, because it's like 14, 1, 2, 15, 1, 2, and so on. So all you have to do is find out which button doesn't have any other button pointing to it. So there's this one here which has this 2, this 1, this 3, this 1, this 2, this 2, this 1, this 3, this 2, this 2. Have I done that already? It feels like I've done that already. Or is it this one? I think it's this one here. Yeah, it's this one. So you can tell because there's only, all the buttons are only in the 4 cardinal directions, right? North, south, west, and east. So in order to figure out which button it is, if the button to the north can't get you there, if the button to the west can't get you there, if the button to the east can't get you there, and the button to the south can't get you there, then it has to be that one. So this is the one that has to be pressed first. Yay, we did it. Oh, thank you dearly. That was not so difficult after all. Now I'll grant you your archaeology credits. Cool. Alright, so we have another 5 to complete, but there's actually 7 in total, so we're going to complete, sorry, 8 in total, but we're going to complete another 7. So we'll do that next time. So for now, I want to thank you all for watching episode 26 of Let's Battle Evoland Legendary Edition. My name is Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and I'll see you next time.